I'm Zach, and sometimes it's more than a fart.
I'm Ben, and it's always more than a fart.
I'm Dainan, and I don't know how I got here.
As per the usual with this show.
Yeah.
Well, now it's a standing Christmas tradition, I believe.
Yeah.
Did we do this?
We did this either last Christmas or the Christmas before.
I mean, you might as well be Santa, right?
I mean, I am approaching middle age, and I'm already a self-identifying bear, so I'm basically Santa in training.
Now, hold on a second. I don't want to hear the approaching middle age thing because I'm pretty sure I'm older than you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you are older than me.
Yeah, let's just walk all that back a little.
Listen, when you're gay and in your 30s, you're basically dead.
I mean, I think that's just like the 30s for most everyone, right?
Yeah.
I think I never believed that for gay people. If anything, I feel like gay people actually live more interesting lives in their 30s than in 40s compared to I don't know, I think about all the friends I know back home where they basically died in their 20s.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't actually believe that, saying that if you're, once you hit your 30s and in the gay world, you're dead. I've never felt that way. In fact, I actually am enjoying my 30s way more than I enjoyed my 20s. I do think that phrase and that statement has always been within like the twink and bar scene community, which, Ben and I are very much not that. So
yeah, I mean, that part's true.
Yeah, I mean, in the bear community, I'm still a young buck over here.
Yeah, so really it all circles back to the theory of relativity. Surround yourself with older people, you'll always feel young.
I mean, my partner of almost 11 years is 20 years older than me, so, I feel great.
Yeah, Dainan understood the assignment.
I understood the assignment.
And welcome back to Your Favorite Coaster Sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's nice to be had. I always enjoy being on the show.
We are an all roller coaster podcast, of course.
Yes.
We will occasionally delve into the realms of aging and the implications it has.
Yeah. We discuss roller coasters and everything else. But sometimes you just have to whip out your coaster count to compare sizes, and then we carry on.
Not in public.
Not in public. Never in public. You don't want to end up on one of those lists.
Well, speaking of ages, we could dive deeper on the ages of roller coasters that opened throughout our years of enthusiasm. Like, we were just discussing how Intimidator is 15, and Millennium Force was only 10 years old when Intimidator was built.
The math ain't mathing. Or, hear me out.
You're talking about I-305, right?
Yeah.
Wait, Intimidator opened the same year, right?
Yeah, both Intimidators are the same year.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Six Flags is going to close all of them within the next 2 years.
I said that so confidently, and I don't know if that's true.
I think
they did.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, I kind of just blindly follow along with anything you say.
It's fair. I mean, so Millennium Force was 10 years or 11 years before I-305?
Yeah, because it opened in Millennium Force was 2000, Intimidator was 2010.
Cool. So let me make this even worse for you. Magnum was 11 years before Millennium Force.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make this really bad. Who was born the same year as Magnum? All right, let's move on.
For some reason that actually makes it better though. I don't know why. Like
because Magnum is the best coaster in Ohio.
Well, like comparing somebody's age to the age of a roller coaster, for some reason in that context, that seems fine. Like Zach being as old as Magnum.
I'm as old as a really good arrow that hasn't been destroyed yet.
Same. I'm as old as Viper at Magic Mountain. Which, in my opinion, Viper is the best coaster at Magic Mountain, and that is a hill I am willing to die on.
Yeah, it's
There's a lot to unpack there.
Thanks. I've been told that before.
Like, did you hit your head on it and forget riding half of the other rides there?
I love Viper. Okay. And I've been to Magic Mountain 3 times within the last year and a half, and Viper is running friggin' amazing. It's so fast, so forceful. It like scrambles your brain in the best way. Love it.
Hey, I have good news for you about Viper at Magic Mountain. We're hosting a meetup at Magic Mountain.
I saw.
So hopefully you can come, and hopefully you, listener, can come out to Magic Mountain.
Let's if Viper doesn't get axed first.
Well, hurry up. We're doing it at the end of February and beginning of March, that weekend. So everyone come out. We're going to Magic Mountain. We're going to Knott's. Join our Discord for all the deets.
Get your rides on X2 and Viper before Six Flags closes them too.
Yeah, I mean, we're entering an era where there's going to be no more warning signs. Things are just going to start closing.
There's already word on the street of what Six Flags is planning on closing within the next year. But, you know, who knows what's true and what's not true? I mean, people know what's true.
Which is that?
Well, Superman's coming down. And at Magic Mountain, Superman's coming down. And supposedly they're looking at Viper and X2 because they don't want to pay for the expenses to keep them out going. But
Viper and X2, shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we've learned about Cedar Fair is if it's not, and when I do call Six Flags Cedar Fair, I need you to understand I'm using that as a slur.
Right. Kind of like the whole President Elon meme.
Yeah, basically. So Cedar Fair doesn't care what happens to any of their properties unless it's Dodge Park, aka Cedar Point. So I've heard X2 and Viper are going with Superman. I've also heard that Over Texas is going to get rid of Shockwave and Mr. Freeze.
No. Fuck, yeah. Not Shockwave.
That's, first of all, correct response. I mean, Mr. Freeze is the second best coaster in that park.
It's fine, but not fucking Shockwave.
That's the thing is, like, I want to be skeptical. However, we went through this with Kingda Ka, and I wasn't on the podcast. I know you tried really hard to get me on the podcast during that whole time. I was told Kingda Ka was closing in August by people at the park. For those who don't know me, I did work at Great Adventure. I was a big part of the beginning of GreatAdventureHistory.com. I used to make my own videos around the park, and I have a lot of people that I'm still connected with at the park. And I was told in August, or it was either August or September, that Ka was coming down. And I know we all know this now, but it's so much worse than you guys even know, because the park put up a fight to keep Kingda Ka. They tried everything. Basically, Cedar Fair wanted the maintenance cost for it, and they were able to get the quote for it. Kingda Ka cost about $1.80 per person per launch, and they were able to readjust the budget and make some future changes to get it down to $1.50 or $1.40, and they're like, nope, still too much. And when Great Adventure really fought against Ka closing towards corporate, corporate's response was, well, we need to cut the most expensive ride, so if you don't close Kingda Ka, we're going to close El Toro. Pick one. So we were losing no matter what we did. And that's how Cedar Fair is treating the legacy parks, it seems. I was complaining about Nighthawk at Carowinds, but I fucking hated that ride. Bye.
That definitely checks out because I remember back to 2019 when they announced Vortex closing at Kings Island, and there was talk then that there was an initiative going around Cedar Fair at that time that every park was instructed to pick one ride for removal.
Yes. And
that's fucking pre-pandemic, so...
And that's kind of what's happening now, because this merger was... I don't know the logistics. I'm not going to pretend I do. But it seems like this merger was more than they bargained for. Which we all called. We all called that.
I guess I was under the assumption that parks would still be... Like, each chain's parks were still going to be, like, operating on their own terms. Like, that's how it was packaged initially.
My friends who worked at Great Adventure told me that things kind of started changing, like, overnight. I was at Six Flags Over Georgia with my boyfriend when they started they implemented something. And I heard the employees talking about it with each other. I know one of the things Cedar Fair put in was at El Toro, the operators weren't allowed to run on the platform anymore. That's how, we used to check restraints. But, like, I also get that from a safety purpose standpoint. But I've also heard that Six Flags is looking to liquidate the parks, which they said they weren't going to do, but apparently they're going to close Discovery Kingdom and Great America in California.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to chime in real quick about Great America, my new home park. The other Great America, California's Great America, my current home park, which I haven't visited yet. I know that I've been on a crusade against Six Flags Great America since they canceled Holiday in the Park. And then we get the news today, as of recording, that no more Winterfest or Halloween event or any seasonal events at California's Great America going forward.
No way.
Done. All seasonal events have been canceled at California's Great America for 2025.
I heard. I think we know what's coming, because I think next season is going to be Great America's last season.
I'm getting that feeling.
How many years was it? How many years ago did they announce the closure?
Was it 3?
2 years ago in 2022.
Yeah,
it was 22, and they said it would be 11 years.
Yeah.
Yep. But apparently the Demon and something else are closing, like, after Winterfest at California's Great America. I know. I also heard that Kong and V2 are being taken out of the Discovery Kingdom, which, bye. But I've also heard that Six Flags America is closing, or they're planning on closing it, and they're going to wait till the season pass sales, because they can be like, well, your season pass works at King's Dominion just an hour away.
So is that all happening, like, rumored within a year, or within
the next couple of years? I've also heard that they're going to get rid of the Six Flags names from the theme parks, except for the original 3. So that, like, Six Flags Over Texas, Six Flags Over Georgia, and Six Flags Over Mid-America will get their original names, and that all the other Six Flags parks are going to drop the name. And they're just going to be like, whatever. So, like, Magic Mountain will just be Magic Mountain. Great Adventure will just be Great Adventure. Fiesta Texas will just be Fiesta Texas. which honestly I don't hate. If all the parks can get their original logos back, that'd also be really cool. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, giving the parks their individual identity, if it pans out and they actually pay, if they do it well, that's fine.
If they do it well, I mean, we'll see. I want to be hopeful for the future, but as as a great adventure person, just kind of struggling with it right now.
Well, let's this is going to be uncharacteristic of me and this show in general, but let's take a moment to highlight some of the potential positives. So I'm going to start just by saying, if we look at what they did for Fright Fest, although they kind of fucked it up, they're trying to really expand on, those seasonal offerings like that.
Premium.
Well, they integrated a bunch of in-demand IP, and
they did.
And all signs pointed to it was a successful run for those parks. So, I mean, that's a positive. I think that means that potentially in the future we could see more IP integration across the board.
I have mixed feelings about that, but I think for Halloween events that works. Because I've heard other things. I mean, like I said, it's all hearsay. So I don't work for Six Flags. I haven't in 15 years, and when I did, I was just a rides operator and lead. So like, the fuck do I know, right? But I did hear that they're looking at in the long run dropping a lot of the Six Flags IPs and keeping the Cedar Fair one. So like every Looney Tunes area would become like a Camp Snoopy, but they would keep the Peanuts everywhere but get rid of the Looney Tunes characters, and that all the DC attractions are going to go. But who knows how true that is? That's just what people are saying, but anything is possible between now and forever, right?
I mean, I also think I'm thinking about like Justice League, Battle for Metropolis.
Yeah.
Could they do more of that, right?
I mean, the good thing about Justice League, if they do get rid of the Justice League theming, they have a building already built and a dark ride already built. Re-theming a dark ride is much cheaper and easier than building a ground-up dark ride.
Agreed, but please don't get a Triotech.
No. But that's the other thing. That's, case in point with Cedar Fair. I, in the 2000s, was like the biggest Cedar Fair hater. Still not my favorite. But in like the 20-teens, seeing what Cedar Fair was doing to the former Paramount parks and like really putting soul back into those old parks was really nice to see. And I love what they've done with Knott's within the last 5 years, other than Montezuma. Like Berry Tales, I freaking love Berry Tales. They still take care, like everything they do at Knott's, I love, other than the way they operate it. But that's another story for another time. And Knott's Berry Tales is such a great attraction. So,
oh yeah, and Iron Reef was so bad.
Iron Reef was terrible. But another point of Iron Reef was that replaced Kingdom of the Dinosaurs, which I think was closed for 15 years or so when Iron Reef went in.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Kingdom of the Dinosaurs was abandoned for years. So I don't know the actual time, but
that's crazy. In a park that small, there could be wasted space for that long.
Yeah. Anything's possible if you just believe.
Well, I say that, and I'm like fucking Tomorrowland at Disneyland, but that's.
So one of my best friends, Cameron, he lives down in Torrance, California, and he is obsessed with the People Mover, partially because he didn't, his is abandoned. So when he comes here to Orlando and we go to Magic Kingdom, or if I ever go to Magic Kingdom, I'll always like take pictures of the People Mover or tag him in it. But we were at Disneyland together. We walked into Tomorrowland, and I pointed to the Rocket Rod / People Mover track and where Star Jets used to be, like in the middle of Tomorrowland. And I just said, "Hey, look at this! In Florida, we call these rides."
That's not funny.
It's very funny, actually. It is very funny. I am a funny person, and
Tomorrowland at Disneyland is no laughing matter, Dainan.
Hey! You guys have
it's in serious disrepair. It looks like it survived the riots and then hadn't been changed since.
You know, Tomorrowland at Disneyland has always been problematic in that way. Do you know in the 90s there was a whole thing where in like the late 80s, early 90s, all the local teenagers, and this is like Southern California teenagers, so they're all like gang and like claiming turf in Tomorrowland.
And that's acting hard.
No, it was weird. There was a documentary about it.
Son?
Well, no, that's why Videopolis closed. That was why Videopolis closed. Local teenagers and gangs were like causing shit. And then the space stage in Tomorrowland, like, was another hangout spot. Yeah, it's just Disneyland and with its locals is a weird place. It's a very weird place. I love Disneyland. Like, I love the park, but the locals there, man, some of them are just ugh. Might as well be Kings Island locals. I said what I said. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No.
It's not like, oh, beautiful Anaheim.
No. But, you know, I was, when you actually texted me tonight to ask me to record, I was having dinner with my friend Casey, Block Breaks, the one who made your logo.
Oh, shouts.
Yeah. Shout out to Casey. She's cool. Cool as hell. And other friends of ours. And we were talking about, oh my God, why did I just forget what I was talking about with Casey? It'll come back to me.
Well, since we're talking about Casey, apparently everybody likes her logos and wants to get them. I'm just saying, fucking pay her.
Yeah.
Don't ask her for a logo if you're not going to pay her. That's some bullshit. Don't ever do that to artists.
Well, she lives here in Orlando now.
Oh, fuck yeah. Good for her.
Oh yeah, we had dinner tonight, and I think this was our 5th time hanging out in a week and a half.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's been rad. It's been pretty rad. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I've been up since 5 in the morning, and it is 10:15 here. So excuse me for my train of thought derailing.
Well, then let me ask you.
Sure.
How excited are you for Aerosmith to be going away?
So I don't care jack shit about Muppet Vision 3D. That thing can fucking close. I have no attachment to the Muppets. However, I think, I like the Muppets, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike them. I'm just not like a huge Muppets fan, like a lot of people here pretend to be. I'm genuinely excited to see what they do with Rock and Roller Coaster, putting in the Muppets. I feel like that'll actually work way better than people think it will.
Wait, Muppets in Rock and Roller Coaster?
Yeah, Disney announced it 2 weeks ago.
Because Steven Tyler
Muppet
did
Vision
some stuff with a minor many years ago. And it was revealed in a court case, and
it was dismissed.
It was dismissed, but I think Disney
I
then
still
decided,
believe it happened.
Oh, I allegedly it happened, and I would tend to believe it, but the courts have decided as they have. Either way, I mean, Disney saw that as a great opportunity to wash their hands of Aerosmith.
Disney has been trying to get rid of Aerosmith for years. They had a big refurb in 2016. I think it was 2016. And Disney stopped selling Aerosmith merchandise. They phased it out. They removed Aerosmith from the name of the ride in all their legal documentation. So, like, it still said on the sign, but, like, legally the name of the ride was just Rock and Roller Coaster. And then the rumor is that when Disney tried to, because the contract had ended, Steven Tyler didn't want to give it up and was paying Disney out of pocket to keep Aerosmith at the attraction. But I think Disney won this time.
Now, hold on a second. I'm just connecting threads here, but we were just talking about IP integration at the new Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting some dots, and coming to Cedar Point in 2027, Rocking Roller Coaster, starring Aerosmith.
Oh, is the guy's Top Thrill 3?
Yes, is this Top Thrill 3?
Or if they want to if they want to go real budget, just call it like Rock and Rye.
Rockin' Top Thrill.
Rockin' Top Thrill 3 featuring Aerosmith. Shocking.
Featuring Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. They couldn't afford the whole band.
No, the whole band didn't want to do it.
Yeah, Steven can't afford to hire the whole band because he's paying for the whole fucking thing.
I do find it ironic that the Muppets is going from being a show that anyone can go to the highest height requirement in the park.
I think that's because only adults care about the Muppets now.
And you know what? That is absolutely correct. They tried. I will give Disney credit where credit is due. They tried really hard to make the Muppets work, and it did not.
I don't think they did. They fucked up with that TV show.
Yeah, like
even adults only liked Aerosmith though too. Like Boomers, it's a boomer coaster.
Yeah. Well, if people even know who Aerosmith is.
Yeah, Aerosmith is like our dad's music.
Yeah, I can tell you, just from firsthand experience, people not knowing who Aerosmith is and asking cast members at Rock and Roller Coaster if A, this is a real band, or B, I've never heard of Aerosmith. Those are two common questions that coaster cast members get asked. That is Aerosmith, or did Disney create this band for the ride? Actual questions I have heard.
No, this is a real band that does covers of songs featured on the show Glee. Next question.
Ugh. Has a dark time in our culture.
I just realized something. Does Rock and Roller Coaster use a catch car?
Sort of. It uses what's called a pusher car. So underneath the launch track, there is another track that the LSMs are actually on, and there's a car on the on the track called the pusher car, and there's a set of brakes at the beginning of the track and a set of brakes at the end of the track, and the pusher car goes back and forth along the LSMs. So when at the beginning of Rock and Roller Coaster, you could feel the train move backwards slightly. That is the chain dog or the dog paw, depending on who you talk to, hooking on to the pusher car. And when the LSMs activate, the pusher car propels the train down the launch track and then just lets it go at the end. So those trains on Rock and Roller Coaster doesn't actually connect to the LSMs at all. Those are standard 1990s Vekoma corkscrew coasters / boomerang trains that are just rethemed to look like limos.
Right.
Yeah.
They need the new restraints.
Yeah. I agree with you, but Disney didn't want them. Apparently, when Space Mountain at Disneyland Paris got the new trains, Paris contacted Florida about putting it on coaster, and they didn't want it. They didn't want to pay for it. So,
Wah.
and my hearing from Disneyland Paris, when they redid Rock and Roll Coaster to Avengers Flight Force, which I must say is a horrible fucking attraction. The original concept was to have the Vekoma restraint, like the vest restraints, and then they decided against it because, as Vekoma said, you don't need them because we designed this. Space Mountain needed them because Disney designed Space Mountain. We just built it. And I think that's beautiful that Vekoma actually thinks that.
That's quite a claim.
Yeah. To be fair, when Rock and Roller Coaster was new, it was pretty smooth. It just, aged like milk.
I mean, old Vekomas, right? That's just par for the course. I mean, those new restraints give fucking new lease on life to those things, though, because Blue Hawk is like
amazing. It's one of the best rides in the park.
Yeah, right? So it's like a whole fucking new lease on life for those rides.
I will say, I think Coaster could benefit from those restraints, but I don't think it warrants the restraint change as much as like an SLC or Ninja did, or even Space Mountain. Space Mountain in Paris was, honestly, it was almost as bad as Goodreeks. It was that rough. So
I'm just saying, if they're gonna do a retheme of it anyway,
I can also see Disney not wanting to spend money if it's not needed. The other thing is, and I don't think this is a reason, but like it probably is, the vest restraints do have verifies. So like, larger guests don't fit, whereas the horse collars that they currently have don't. So if you get the new restraints, you're also decreasing your ridership.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I guess they're not like B&M where they offer the big boy rows.
Car 5. I know Car 5 at Space Mountain does. I don't know why it's Car 5. I don't know why they're not just all the same, but here we are.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty forgiving. Like I'm a big guy. I need the modified seats on B&Ms, and I've ridden the Vekoma coasters with the vest restraints wearing a bulky winter jacket. So, they're pretty forgiving.
All right. Well, I mean, I would just like to see it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people would. I've talked about it with friends, like see what it'd be like.
Better.
Yeah.
It'd be better.
Yeah.
Have you go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I'm curious what the actual theme with Muppets will be, though.
Electric Mayhem.
Oh, okay, so it's not like you're.
They mentioned like guest stars too.
Okay, so it's not like you're going to a Muppets performance or something.
Disney has not released that information yet, from my understanding.
Yeah, all I remember them saying was like guest stars. Maybe they vaguely alluded to a music festival, but that may have been speculation.
Yeah. I like how
Not
this
a
is
ton of
turned into
detail.
your favorite Disney sucks and not your favorite coaster sucks.
Well, here's the thing. When you buy a magic key, you suddenly are like, fuck, I've got to like go to Disney a lot to make this worthwhile.
I mean, yeah, because they're expensive as fuck.
Yeah, Disneyland's literally like the most expensive fucking park anywhere for single day ticket or anything. So when you get a magic key, you go, well, you gotta use this fucking thing. And so suddenly very much more interested in Disney.
That's how I feel about my Universal Studios Horror Nights pass. Because usually by like the second or third night, I'm like already over the event. I'm like, I've done everything. It's annoying. It's crowded. I've done. But then I'm like, wait, how much did I pay for this? I'm going to go every night.
Exactly. It's like, well, I mean, I don't feel that way about Disneyland because I haven't visited a ton.
No.
So that's the other thing, is it's still kind of new to me. So
You're also, what, an 8-hour drive?
Yeah, it's like 6 to 8, depending on the traffic in LA. But hour flight. It's not too tough to get over there.
No.
So yeah, a lot of sudden interest in Disney, partially financially motivated.
And I'm sure Ryan hasn't helped.
Nope, that's why we ended up getting the magic keys in the first place. Which, boy, that sale was quick.
Yeah, they were gone in like an hour or something.
They paused the sales after like 6 days.
Oh,
it wasn't even a full week. They completely paused them. So we had lucked out and got them.
The way that we sell tickets for anything now is just upsetting.
Yeah, unless you want the top tier pass to Disney World.
Yeah.
Because that's always available.
I'm just talking like as a culture in general, like, oh, there's going to be this concert. Well, you got to do a pre-sale and the tickets are going to sell out in seconds. Or, just most things that like are events, or it's just
Hollywood Nights.
Tickets go on sale tomorrow and they're available for 10 minutes. I hope you have money now. Like, what?
Imagine if Hollywood Nights went to a bidder only ticket sale.
No. Please, no.
Imagine if they did a thing where, like, if you could book the travel, then you could buy the ticket.
Yeah, like if you rent a cabin,
right,
you should be able to go.
Exactly. Like, you're like, oh, I reserved the cabin for those dates. Like, we have 4 people. Can we get 4 tickets for the event?
Yeah.
But, can't have it all, I guess.
No.
Have you ever tried to do a fucking Run Disney?
No, thank you. Have you seen me? I'm not running. Fuck that. But no, I've heard about how the ticket sales go for that too, from people I know who do it. It just sounds ridiculous.
It is. And I'm going to do a 10K.
There we go.
I'm already registered for the Disneyland one in September.
Do you like run on Harbor or do you run through the park?
You run through the parks.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked. A little nervous, but I figure if I can run and train here in San Francisco, then it'll be no problem when I get to Anaheim. Yeah, I'm hoping. Or, the balloon ladies pass me and I still
Go
get my
for
medal.
a ride.
Yeah. Still get my medal, still get my snack box.
Look, I participated.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I bought my very expensive medal.
Oh yeah, real quick on Kingda Ka, since we moved. What do you think they're gonna do? What do you think they're gonna do with it?
I guess we'll talk about coasters again. It's coming down. The whole tower is coming down supposedly after the season ends.
Okay, so not even a refurb. It's like full down.
No, it's coming. Yeah.
Which kind of means that Top Thrill 2 is done.
So I heard, like I said, I don't work for Six Flags, so I was repeating what I've been told by other people. So I am not an official source, and this could all just be wrong. But I have heard that Top Thrill 2 is like done, but also apparently it's like the dream they won't give up. Apparently with cycling, I did not see them because I do not care, but apparently there were photos online of it cycling and they were real, but that could also be a lie. I did hear that Cedar Point is working with Premier to do work for Top Thrill 2, and that the trains are losing the stadium seating.
Oh, shit.
But who knows? My personal feelings is I would love to see Top Thrill 2 come down just because I'm angry about Kingda Ka. And I'm going to be completely transparent here. I would be lying if I said Kingda Ka was one of my favorite coasters. It wasn't even my favorite coaster in the park, but it holds a big place in my heart for sentimental reasons, and I just want to see Cedar Point suffer the same thing we're suffering with. Because you cannot tell me, and you cannot convince me that Cedar Fair getting rid of Kingda Ka was not, because of a vendetta that the park has had against Ka being built. Like, you cannot convince me that this was just, get rid of it because it replaced, it topped out, Dragster. Like, I'm convinced they found any reason they could to get rid of it, even though they're the same people. Because it's not a God's Park, it's not a Cedar Point.
Okay, but hear me out on this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to be fucking vindictive about it, isn't it more torturous for it to be standing there SBNO with them pouring money into it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, a gone Top Thrill Dragster is just gone, but Top Thrill 2 is just kind of sitting there not doing anything. And lots of people really want to ride it.
8 days. It operated for 8 days, and that's including employee previews.
Yeah, now they're getting a replacement tilt coaster.
Don't even get me started on that. I really fucking hate what they did to Six Flags in Mexico. It was grimy.
I don't get that one.
So, do you know what happened with Six Flags Mexico and that? So, they were originally filed the permits to build it. They announced they were going to build it, or they announced they were building something, I think. and the city government didn't approve it because they would not approve the park getting rid of X amount of trees. So the park said, okay, we'll figure this out. And then the park came back and said, we found a new plot of land we want to put it in, and it won't require taking down any trees. And they were like, okay, cool. And before they can get the permits and start building it, Cedar Fair went, actually, we're going to put it in this other park.
Yeah. Turns out that plot of land is in Sandusky, Ohio.
Yeah. Surprise, Sade. God, I hate them so much. Yeah.
So we're going to need y'all to ship that up here.
I guess,
And if you could send a construction crew, that'd be great.
I guess third park's the charm, right? Because
Wasn't that originally for Energylandia?
Sure was.
And Vacoma's like, we don't give a fuck where it's getting built. Somebody pay us.
And Vacoma's like, we've already manufactured this shit. The fuck? What are you doing?
Vacoma's like, good thing we're getting paid every time this thing moves.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, that's the real winner in all of this. Vacoma.
Like, we've already manufactured it. Whatever happens next is on you.
I mean, I'm trying to just think about what else they're probably going to ruin next to Viper. What are they going to take out of Grid America, you think?
Demon?
Yeah. I think Demon is safe in Illinois. But I heard V2.
Yeah, V2 seems no losses.
Do you have an old Intamin, or do you have an old Arrow or an expensive Intamin? Well, the Cedar Fair repo team is here for you.
Oh God, wait, don't make me say it, please.
Say it.
Fuck. Whizzer.
Whizzer safe.
How so?
Because I don't think I don't think the park would let them get rid of it. I'm sure the park would rather close the whole fucking park than lose the Whizzer.
Well, how bad did they fight to save Kingda Ka?
Yeah, but that's true. That is true. But here's the thing. They were given an ultimatum. They were told, if you keep Ka, we get rid of Toro. I feel like if Great America was told, okay, you can keep Whizzer, but we're getting rid of Raging Bull, they'll say, okay, take Raging Bull.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them maybe doing an ultimatum between like Eagle and Whizzer.
I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't heard much out of Illinois other than V2.
Which is fair. If V2 goes, fine. If one of the Flumes go, fine. I've always thought they should remove Roaring Rapids and one of the Flumes. And
I think Roaring Rapids is getting removed.
Yeah.
This whole year, granted I moved in September, but all of my visits, I only heard of it operating once.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think it opened at all this year.
I could confirm that, but
well,
I know it opened last season. I know for sure it opened last season, but it was brief, like not even a whole week of operation.
When I went to Great America this summer, it was the first time in my life I'd ever experienced both Yankee Clipper and Loggers Run being open at the same time. And that was a fascinating experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's normally like a Saturday. They'll do it like on Saturday, June and July, and that's about it.
Yeah, only
they
like
both had full queues.
Oh yeah,
it must have been busy as hell when you went.
It was moderately busy. We actually had like the best time at Great America. Like it was busy, but I will tell you that park really does throughput well. We rode Viper, nothing stacked. We didn't stack on a single thing that I rode at least. I was also really sick when I went to Great America. Like I was getting over a really bad stomach flu. Not stomach flu. Stomach flu I wouldn't have gone on the trip. Like food poisoning, or some sort of stomach bug. Because my partner and I went to Atlanta. We did Six Flags Over Georgia and Area Force and some other stuff, and I got like violently ill, like stomach bug ill when we were there. And when we went to Great America, I got really ill at Indiana Beach the day before. So at Great America, there's a few things I skipped because I just didn't want to like I mentioned it before, big guy. I skipped X Flight and something else because I didn't want to be squished. But I rode, but the park was slammed. However, Raging Bull was running 3 trains, and the line was okay. This was amazing. The line was to the entrance of the like right under the sign. We wanted to ride Raging Bull. The queue was to the sign, but
Was it
none of the switchbacks.
one queue house or both?
None of them were open. It was just going straight through them.
Oh, okay. All right.
We timed it from the time we got in the queue to the time we got dispatched was exactly 9 minutes.
Wow.
It was awesome. I actually filmed it because I was like kind of in disbelief watching this. They only had 2 attendants checking restraints, and they were flying. They were dispatching as soon as the train crossed the lift before the other train came into the brakes. And that's what they did the entire time we were in line. And you can tell like they were cheering each other on and really into it. And that was just the vibe at the park the whole day. Like I know you're from Great America. As an outsider, I think Great America, as well as Six Flags St. Louis, have the best operations teams at any Six Flags park when it comes to like throughput and efficiency. I'm always very impressed with both parks.
Yeah, St. Louis has been like if I think about it, St. Louis has always been pretty good. I mean, this was 15 years ago, but I waited in the full queue for Boss once, like out the sign.
Oh, good God.
Full length, and I think it was like 20 minutes.
Was it 3 trains?
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, like Great America, we obviously they didn't roll trains on not full throttle, max force, but like Viper was rolling, Raging Bull was rolling, Eagle was rolling, because I waited in the queue house, like underneath the station for American Eagle, and I think I waited 20 minutes at the most. It's probably only 15. Oh yeah, no, we got in line. It was like over the service road. Also, Eagle's queue confuses me, and I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks since they built Kidzopolis Wiggles World.
Yeah, and they moved the entrance with the stupid frisbee.
Yep.
We also waited a full queue for Goliath, and I think we only waited 30 minutes, if that. It was also my first time on Goliath because it's the first time I fit on Goliath since going to Great America.
What'd you think?
Woo-hoo. It's not great. It's okay. I don't not like it, but I'm not going to be one of those people who just like jerks off all over it just because it's an RMC. I thought it was kind of boring, and like the moments it did that were great, but it was not a lot, and it was also like really fucking rough. And I love rough wooden coasters. Like I love Eagle, but a rough wooden coaster when you're a fat guy squeezed into an RMC train is like not fun.
No, the trains don't handle it. And what's fun, I remember back when they were building that ride,
yeah,
like arguing with people on Sifcam World, being like, being like, people don't realize that like topper track is not going to age, and it's going to be incredibly expensive to like. You can't just replace a board with topper track. You have to do like a full refurb.
And you do a whole track.
Yeah. And like, because the thing is, it's been rough for kind of a while, especially in the tunnels.
Yes. And then coming out of the top dump stall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I never liked it. I always thought it was too short, and I don't know. I don't like dive loops.
The dive, you know what though? It's interesting because it's the only real traditional dive loop that they do at an RMC, because Air Force kind of has a dive loop, but it's a little different. And Air Force's dive loop is great, but like Goliath's dive loop was just kind of there. It was weird. I did love the stall. The stall was great. And
the original T-Rexes do a dive loop.
Raptors, there are no T-Rexes.
Yeah, that's it. Raptors.
You know what? Maybe it's just Goliath's dive loop because it's really big and kind of drawn out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like when you look at Goliath on the side, it's like two of the elements are just turnarounds, like they're just turns, and then you have a boring dive loop, and then you literally have a bunny hill and there's nothing to it.
Correct.
Here's the thing.
I'm thankful that they did not RMC Eagle.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Goliath than an RMC Eagle.
I think they perfected Goliath's layout with Jersey Devil and Wonder Woman Magic Mountain.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that.
I think they went back in and, added the third lap that Goliath needed.
Goliath could have done like it could have done like a helix or like whatever the hell they call that, like the kick flip thing that the Georgia Cyclone does.
Oh yeah, the not Cobra roll.
Yeah, like something. Could have done that. It could have done the helix. It needs like one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote it. I got the credit. But for the wooden RMCs, because I've never ridden an Outlaw Run. I've been to Silver Dollar City 3 times. I was even there this year. But the seatbelts, like, okay, so Fat Guy Problems 101. I can get the Verify on Outlaw Run. Like, I can get the green light on the test seat. But the seatbelts are so short, I can't even get them close to touching.
Yeah, them shits are stupid unforgiving for Branson.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But you know what? It's fine. Whatever. I'm at peace with it. I don't really care enough. It's just a roller coaster. Done. Yeah,
no, but like
it disappointed me the first time I went, but like now I just expect it. So I'm like, whatever.
I'm with you. How the fuck does the park in Branson, Missouri, whose clientele is 2/3 in a rascal scooter, fucking not like have the least forgiving seat? Because like I have a hard time on Outlaw Run,
and you're much smaller than me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a thin dude, but like I'm not the largest guy.
No.
And I have a tough time getting that fucking thing. So I don't know why they make it that fucking ridiculously small for a park that's known for cooking things on a skillet that could house an individual.
Basically. But back to the statement about the wooden RMCs. I've ridden Lightning Rod and I've ridden Wildfire at Colmarden. Lightning Rod has a couple of parts that are kind of unpleasant with the potholes, but like actually they're fine. Where Wildfire, I freaking loved. It felt like a real wooden coaster, but it was great. So I was kind of hoping that, the American wooden RMCs would also run that way, but they do not. I did see at IAPA this year, and apparently they had them, but I hadn't noticed. RMC is no longer offering the topper track. It's iBox or nothing.
Yeah, I think they did that a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was told that. I didn't know that until I was there and said, "Hey, where's the topper track?"
I mean, it was kind of a dumb design in the first place. It's like, we don't need wooden coasters to go upside down. Like,
no,
we're fine. just do a normal steel coaster. Everyone will be fine.
No, unless you're a Gravity Group.
Yeah, that's true.
360.
But even that was a little unnecessary.
It was. I hate those trains.
I'm going to circle back around to the entire idea of what the fuck defines a wooden versus steel coaster nowadays anyway.
Yeah. Well, real quick too. So originally Hades was supposed to have a barrel roll.
Originally? Like in 2005 or whenever it opened?
Like whenever they went to the park in 2004, like the whole concept, like when Gravity Group went to Mount Olympus or whatever, when they were in the talks, like Gravity Group was like, yeah, we can do a barrel roll. And then, there's even so I even remember this. There's a In the Loop or Thrill Network podcast from like 2006 or 2005. Mm-hmm. It's like literally one of the first 10 episodes. It's with an interview with Gravity Group where they talked about their original plans for Hades and all that with the park.
Oh, hey, wow. We mentioned Mount Olympus, so I just real quick.
I heard his owner kicks dogs.
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to look into that. I just imagine they were sitting there designing it, and then they got to the 90-degree turn, and they're like, this is where the barrel roll is going to go. And then they like clicked one more degree, and the the software shitted out, and they're like, oh, fuck, I don't think this is going to work.
Remember in the old No Limits game, like No Limits 1, if you added an extra track node and you got the banking wrong, it would like completely fuck it up.
Yeah, it would like turn back the other way and then keep going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is like, oh, that's got to be good for the G's. Sure, those lats will be great.
But yeah, I mean,
they were playing No Limits, and they were like, "Oh fuck."
I gotta find that interview because it was actually kind of cool in that the way they described it, because they basically said like at a certain point, if the train is in zero, if the train is in zero gravity, the track is really just there to guide it in the right direction. So really, it's not super difficult to do on a wooden track because you don't have to really worry about it, like it being under supported or anything.
That makes sense, but also, I'm not an engineer.
Well, there's got to be a reason why they didn't do it, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
it might have been. Yeah, it could have been a train limitation. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, they go back to PTC and they're like, hey, so we want to do a barrel roll, and Tom Rebbe just fucking laughed at him.
That sounds on brand for Tom Rebbe. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, you want what? Get the fuck out of here.
Do I know you?
The new one is okay though. Hades 360.
I loved it.
I haven't been on it though in over 10 years now, so I have no idea what it's like nowadays.
Okay, big asterisks here. Timberliners are probably the worst trains I've ever been on, but I do enjoy Hades 360.
I enjoy gravity group coasters. I would enjoy them more if Timberliners died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why? How come whenever I'm just over new train designs? Like I don't like modern train, like the new one that Gerstlauer put out, and then whatever RMC's concept for new trains. They all look the same. Like, why not go with? I don't know. It's like too many rounded edges and like weird lap bar designs. Just like stick with the classics. The new Intamin trains are pretty cool. They work.
And whoever at RMC brought back shin guards needs to be smacked.
Apparently, that was added after the Texas Giant incident. But supposedly,
but those were
RMC
Gerstlauer trains, so fucking.
I'm aware.
What are you solving?
But apparently, RMC now says that they don't need their coasters can run without the shin guards. So I beg you, RMC, please get rid of the shin guards.
Yeah, then let's get them shits off of there. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shin guards make sense if you have a T-bar, but I mean those restraints do a pretty good job of keeping your legs together anyway. So
yeah, and plus they've got like those fucking things are heavy.
Yeah.
You got to like really push down on them to get them into place. So it's not like, you know, I don't ever feel afraid that they're going to go anywhere. But I greatly dislike having my legs restricted in that way on a roller coaster.
You're definitely not going anywhere.
The worst, I still think the worst shin guards on a coaster are the ones on Wicked at Lagoon. Those are bad.
Really?
Yeah, the best way I can describe it is like as you pull the lap bar down, a metal bar just digs into your shins, and it's basically the bar hits your shins before the lap bar even touches your waist. And then the employee comes around and like tries to staple you, and it's just metal bar into shin.
That means like some BDSM shit.
It's pretty bad. Like,
well, listen, you try to design a roller coaster to restraint without ever having a cup of coffee. Because Mormon.
wait. True.
Mormon.
They like soda and coffee creamer though.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They're like, how can we make Coca-Cola even sugarier? I know. We'll add some Starbucks vanilla syrup and then some fucking cafe mate creamer.
We actually opened a soda shop that is from Utah called Swig, and apparently it's a Mormon thing. Like the Mormons created it because they can't drink coffee.
But what I don't understand is like they're able to drink Pepsi and Coke with caffeine in it.
I do not know. I am not.
No, I thought they could only drink. I thought they could only drink Dr. Pepper. As far as caffeinated sodas go. But then I guess, yeah, maybe you're right. They relaxed the rules I thought about maybe sodas, but they're definitely not allowed to drink like coffee.
Yeah.
Why only Dr. Pepper?
Why Mormon?
Fair.
I mean, I'm sorry to answer your question with a question, but at a certain point, I can only be an outside observer. Just making observations.
It's just making an observation, Jesus Christ. Is it because they think he's a real doctor? Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, maybe. This guy went to medical school for a long time. He did his residency in Kentucky. Fried chicken. Anyway.
Mesha.
At University of Kentucky. Fried chicken. UKFC. That would be great. Anyway. Lord. What were we talking about? Mormons. Well, this is a great opportunity for the second time on this show to bring up soaking.
Yum.
Soaking?
You're familiar, right, Dainan?
I am very familiar with, I mean, not personally, because I ain't no bitch, but I know what soaking is. And what's the name of the friend that helps? Is it the hump jump?
Oh, what? Is somebody like pushing from behind?
No, it's like you get someone to jump on the bed to create like movement on the bed, which creates friction. Because as long as you're not thrusting, it's not a sin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfectly sensible.
I think it's called hump jump.
So we're talking about like they go so far as to use like a Dutch rudder type thing situation.
You know what? Maybe you should try it out and find out.
I don't know anyone who can jump on my bed.
Well, some things in life shall remain a mystery.
Yeah, that's one of those things I think you have to go with hidden behind the paywall of Mormonism. And I'm not buying any special underwear.
Nah, I'm busy that day.
Huh. Did you guys know that the Middle East got a new GCI coaster this year?
Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm writing it next month.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm going to Dubai. And we're going the end of January, first week of February.
Is Formula Rossa reopened?
Not currently, but there's a chance it might reopen while we're there.
I hope it's open for you.
I'm honestly more excited for Flying Ace.
Yeah, that shit looks sick.
But we'll see if it's open. Honestly, when I do these big trips and like we travel abroad, unless we're traveling abroad for a specific coaster, like this trip we're going to like 12 parks. If Formula Rossa is closed, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Fair.
I mean, it's one of those things too where the gamble of flying that far in hopes that it has uptime is such a slim thing. You really got to set expectations fairly.
Yeah. And I've unfortunately have traveled and, I've missed credits before. I've missed things that I cared about. Like, I went to Japan, and when I went to Tokyo Disneyland, Space Mountain was closed for its refurb, and now it's gone. So I never got on it. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It was Space Mountain. But Disneyland.
Yes. I love Disneyland Space. I love both spaces, but they're just, all of them. They're just different.
There's good Space Mountain, and then there's other Space Mountain.
They're both, they're all good in their own way.
I'm only speaking of American Space Mountain because I'm American.
I mean, so am I. I was born here.
Well, I'm not quite as cultured as you.
It's a facade.
I'm not as well ridden as you, Dainan.
You know, there are many ways to interpret that statement.
Well, open to interpretation. I was thinking. You could say someone's well read in the coaster world. You could say someone's well ridden, and it applies in a lot of cases.
So you always carry poppers with you. See, I always find a way to get in the podcast.
Wait, carry poppers with you?
Yeah. You never know when you might need them.
That's true. I've had a falling out with them personally.
Okay.
This happened like 6 months ago. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fact that you can't find actual like formula. It's all like, I don't want to say fake, but
no, I know what you're saying.
It's not the real thing anymore. Even I've tried online vendors. I've gone to Mr. S, even the brown bottle. They all kind of suck now. And then I hit this point where I was like, yeah, I'm just done with these. I'm going all natural.
Okay.
And your VCR is filthy now.
Yeah. It'll never be clean again. Anyway, thank you for tuning into Your Favorite Coaster Sucks, where we talk about poppers and what else do we throw in there?
I mean, we're over an hour in, so if you got this far, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew this was coming.
Ayo, up top.
Hey. Much like Santa, it's coming. I was trying.
He does have
Swing for the fences.
He does have a really big... Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. There was something else I was gonna say, and it escaped my brain. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Dainan. I assume you've been down the bayou?
Yes. A couple of times.
What do you think?
And I got evac'd off it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. What do I think? I have mixed feelings. I still am in full agreement that Splash Mountain needed to be retired. However, here in Florida, the ride is fine. It's really pretty. There is so much dead space, and it's just not executed well here. I have seen videos of it in California, and once again, Disneyland has beaten Walt Disney World with their own attraction. Because I don't really love ours. In fact, I think Splash Mountain was better, and I very much, if you remember, I very much did not want it to be better. Like, I was a very big Tiana supporter and very much looking forward to it. And I got off the ride feeling disappointed. I just kind of got off and went, okay. It's really pretty. It is. It's good for what it is, but there's so much dead space. And the truth is, because of that, the ride doesn't match the energy that Splash Mountain carried through the attraction. So I don't love it, but I don't dislike it.
Fair.
Yeah.
I've only been on the Disneyland one. Big fan. I like it a lot.
That's good. I mean, to be fair, I hated Splash Mountain at Disneyland. So.
Now, the drop into the shrinking scene, that doesn't fucking annihilate you there in Magic Kingdom, right?
No, it does not. That is very much a Disneyland Splash thing.
That's not a feature. That's a bug, and they didn't fix it.
That's not a bug. That is just the way the log hits the drop. Because that wall of water has always been there.
It's worse now.
How? It wasn't literally a wall of water before. How
it went up to my head.
Yeah, wall of water.
That part sucks. I'm gonna say that. That part sucks, and that screen in the shrink down part with Tiana and Lewis is bad.
No, the screen is stupid. I wish they'd get rid of it.
And all the other screens are okay, but that one's bad.
I agree.
And then they didn't really do a great job with like everything after the drop at Disneyland.
I think the restaurant is the best scene.
Oh, I mean, like the finale. After the drop, up into the finale. Finale's awesome. No notes. Song is great. Animatronics are great. I thought what's her name? Olivia? I thought that was a fucking cast member the first time I wrote it.
Who?
I think it's Olivia. Whatever her friend's name is from childhood.
Lottie.
Lottie. Okay. I only saw the movie once. Okay. And they put Naveen, and then who is that kid playing the drums?
I do not know.
Okay. I'm not crazy. He wasn't in the movie, right?
I think Naveen's little brother is in the movie.
Is that who that is?
Maybe.
I think we've lost Ben at this point.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, he lives.
Yeah, we're so fucking in the weeds about this Disney characters. Ben, how many Disney films have you seen?
I don't even know, honestly. I've seen the classics. That's about it.
So have you seen... I know you said you never watched Goofy movie.
No.
Which is blasphemy.
I mean, I might see Moana 2 tomorrow.
Why?
There's some family in town with kids, so just an activity.
No, that's a good reason.
Oh, how far you'll go.
I've heard nothing but terrible things about that movie.
Yeah, the reviews have not been great. Turns out if you try to shoehorn a series into a movie, doesn't always go good.
I feel like movies this whole past year have just sucked. Like, every movie I've seen just sucks. What's happening?
I mean...
Except for A24. It's like A24 is the only one making good movies right now.
I do love their movies. I also... I'm going to preference this with... I absolutely despise Ariana Grande. I loved Wicked. And I did not want to love Wicked.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that one a few weeks ago. I get it. I didn't love it, but I get it.
I didn't feel much. I didn't really enjoy it that much. It was fine.
That's fair.
I did think the casting was good though. All the casting was good.
Yeah, performances were all good except for the like head lady at the school.
Who is that? Oh, right.
Yeah. She wasn't great.
She's fine.
And neither was what's his name? The wizard.
Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yep.
Sorry, I'm really tired. I just called him Jeffrey. I'm cool with him like that.
Oh, look, I'm not going to presume you aren't.
You're right. You a homie.
Yeah, right. Let me just call him Jeff right quick. There's just too much fucking CGI in that shit for me. There, I said it.
I mean, yeah, pretty much all of those are. A lot of movies have too much CGI,
and also it was so fucking long. And then at the end, it was like part 1, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I had the same thoughts.
And then also, I'm like, is this a 6-hour stage show?
I mean, at least there was no. At least the in theater singing wasn't that bad, or I didn't experience it, but
I didn't have any.
Yeah, I don't think that's been a problem like people were expecting it to be, which is good.
Yeah, I was ready to go walk into another theater if there was a lot of singing. Thankfully, didn't have musical. To. I meant from the audience.
Oh.
I understood it was a musical going in. I'm not that, inept. But here's the thing, right? Musicals always drive me nuts for one reason, and it's because the source of the music is never fucking shown on screen. It's just like characters are having a conversation, and then all of a sudden a fucking piano starts playing. And it's like, where the fuck is the piano?
It was there the whole time.
Right. And it's like, okay, so can you just show this fucking piano that's just off screen just for a second? I know I'm getting way too worked up about this, but like, it bothers me every time I watch a musical.
Well, it's the point, though.
I'm just
it's supposed to make sense. It's magic.
Show a fucking radio in the first song, and that's it. That's all I need. Am I too fucking picky about this?
It's just not for you.
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
But I agree.
Thank you for validating my frustration, Ben.
You're forgiven this time.
Well,
like, everybody go enjoy Wicked. Did you make it to meet the characters at Universal, Dainan?
No, I did not. I did go to the Wicked experience, just to look around it. I was probably in there for a total of 10 minutes, which was neat, but it was crowded, and I also don't like meeting characters if I don't have to. So even if they weren't in there, but even if they were in there, there was no way in hell I was meeting them. Absolutely none.
Yeah, I didn't hear a whole lot, but I was reading when that happened that it was a big fucking cluster, basically. With like trying to do the meet and greets.
It wasn't, like I said, they weren't doing meet and greets, and they were setting up for the parade for Christmas, so like it wasn't the worst, but it also wasn't great.
So were they just like face characters?
I believe so.
Oh boy. Just imagine the pressure. Like, no, I'm not Ariana Grande, but I am Glinda. Tough sell, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard Bluey is coming to the Disney parks.
Fucking Bluey.
Dude, Bluey's great.
I'll give you a Bluey.
Whoa.
Okay. No, my thing with Bluey is I've never sat down and watched it just to watch it, but I've seen it in passing, and I don't hate it.
Yeah,
So,
it's really good.
okay.
Thumbs up on Bluey, thumbs in the middle on Wicked.
Well, there's a chance. There's already talks that Wicked might be a portal at Epic Universe, but I think that just might be people getting excited.
I'm going to agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any chance that even happens as a serious conversation until after the second one does better than the first one. Then I think there's definitely a possibility. Wouldn't it be weird if they built a big dark ride with a scene from The Wizard of Oz in it, though?
Oh, and we could have it about a bunch of different movies at the same time?
Yeah.
You know what?
That'd be a cool idea.
That would be great. That would be a great movie ride, don't you think? But what would we call it?
I think the Go Fuck Yourself.
Oh. Well, ready when you are, CB. To those who don't understand, I'm sorry, but to those who do, you're welcome.
You're welcome for this amazing highbrow comedy.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should explain to Ben.
No, it's more funny this way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I had to clear my throat there.
Perfect timing. As if on cue. So, what else is up? Disneyland 70th. Not much exciting happening there.
No, but they'll probably have a better 70th than Great Adventure had a 50th.
Yeah. Return of an old parade, return of an old fireworks show. That's better than removing 5 rides. Let me rephrase that. It's better than removing an entire section of the park.
Yeah.
I saw that video of the parachute tower coming down today.
That hurt.
That was... Anyway, go on.
Can we also discuss that Great Adventure closed Zumanjaro earlier in the year for budget cuts, and then just quietly closed the entire structure, so Zumanjaro never really got a goodbye either. And there's been no mention of losing the world's tallest drop tower.
Which is fueling speculation that they might do some repurposing. But also the permits. Apparently there's no permits to take down Ka or Zumanjaro.
They're just going to do it sneakily in the middle of the night.
I mean, hey, if they find a way to repurpose it, cool. I won't hold my breath for it, but that'd be kind of fun. It makes sense. Like, if, I don't know, just bring Intamin back and do it. Intamin will figure it out. And then they can do that extension that they wanted to do on Dragster. As long as it's not a dive loop.
You really hate dive loops.
I think they're the worst. Dive loops and Immelmans, I think, are the worst inversions. That's why, honestly, Ratha Rakshasa, it's got 2 of those. Not a fan.
No, you're not looking forward to the Wrath of Rock Lobster?
Didn't hear about that one. That's good. I like that one.
Thank you. Jackie is the one who came up with that.
I do think it's going to be real. It's going to be rattly as fuck, though.
Of course it is.
Rattle of Rakshasa.
Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck is going up with B&Ms? Do you have thoughts on that?
So, I don't really know. I did hear that apparently the Claremont Steel Company laid off everyone during COVID, and all the people who are designing and building the steel now are newer and less experienced, and that's why the newer products are the way they are. Whether that's the actual reason, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess
sounds likely.
They're like, all right, piece 62. We're bending this one 17 degrees to the left. And then they finish and they're like, I meant right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's two parts to it too. One is I feel like all B&Ms have been degrading very quickly and simultaneously. And the new ones are also bad. So it's almost like, is it track or is it train? I kind of want to lean towards it's train. Because how is it that like B&M, there were like B&Ms that were smooth for like 20 plus years and then suddenly they got a rattle overnight, like after COVID?
Yeah.
And then there's other ones that don't seem to be affected whatsoever. Like Mako is still smooth. I mean, Great America's Batman is still smooth. I don't get it.
Yeah, and then you have Penguin Trek here in Orlando, and there's a nice kink after the second launch where when I first rode it during preview, I was kind of floored with how it already had a rough section. So I don't know if this is just the new norm or...
Yeah.
Well, geez, B&M.
Yeah.
It's just gotten to the point where, I don't know, like I'll actually have to skip B&Ms due to discomfort, like, which is strange. It's strange that like I'm at the point of the hobby where like, nah, I don't want to ride the B&M. I don't want a headache.
Hulk.
Yeah, like
Hulk beats the ever-loaded crap out of me. It's also funny that at this time period, like in our lives, where B&M is the rough coaster we don't want to ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the many things my brain does not compute with. Like, I think Kingda Ka should have been turning 20 this year.
Yeah. I just love saying B&M is in decline on the roller coaster subreddit because it like pisses people off.
It's not on the decline.
They've definitely fallen from their place, though, of relevancy.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, I rode Phoenix Rising when it was new, and the first thing I said to my friend at the end of the ride was, I never thought I'd say this, but they should have gotten a Vekoma.
Yeah.
Man, 2024 is like a simulation.
Yeah. It's been a rough theme park year for sure.
Well, 2025 is going to be no better.
Nope. 2025 is yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, we're going to be plus Epic Universe and minus a whole shitload.
Yeah. And you know what? At least Florida will have one good thing going for it, right? Right.
Well, I mean, it'll be a lot easier to ride everything in Animal Kingdom in one day.
That's true. I mean, it's really already not that hard, but
becomes marginally easier. All right, abrupt change in audio because of technical issues. Anyway,
I broke it.
It's not your fault. It's not like it's a
ride.
Ride, yeah.
Yeah,
I was about to say something more specific, and I was like, "Don't say that."
No, but I've only gotten evac'd off one ride this week. That actually might be a lie. I think I've been evac'd off more than one ride this year. But I did get evac'd off Tiana 2 weeks ago. So
that would scare me because all of the platforms look like they're slippery as hell.
Well, I didn't think it was that bad, but familiar territory.
For sure. I mean, it's not like I would actually be scared. I'd be thrilled. Oops, I fell in the trough. No, just kidding.
I mean, it's happened, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Probably at every water ride that's ever existed.
The key is just you got to make it look like an accident. No diving.
Head first, let's go.
Yeah, if you can manage to clip your arm or flank on the way down, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a lot of thrashing once you're in the water. Anyway, that made me think of a video of Jurassic Park River Adventure at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Where
yeah.
Yeah, where the kid lost his hat and then he's in the fucking water in the track, getting the hat
literally back. In the track in the run out, because the hat is more valuable than your life.
And the boat comes moments after he's out of the track too.
I always wondered if that's one of those where if he ducked under the water, if he would have been fine.
No,
definitely not.
If he was in the trough, he was getting killed.
Yeah.
I'm there's no way, because even if there's not a floor on that thing, the boat's the pond is not that deep, obviously, because he's just wading around in it.
People do not think. It's
I guess the real takeaway here is it better be a really nice hat.
It probably wasn't.
Where else am I going to get a Walmart hat?
Who knows? One of life's greatest mysteries.
Buy your hats at Walmart? Well, no problem. Buy them by the bushel full. All right. Well, this has been fun. Grand to have you back here for celebrating Christmas with us again.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy everything.
Yes, if you celebrate a holiday, happy that.
Yes.
But no holiday in the park.
And no Winterfest.
Yeah, and if you celebrate holiday in the park, say goodbye.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it while you had it.
Yep. You got anything else? Anybody?
Nah. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy Honda days.
I would talk about IAPA, but I'm tired.
We can confirm that there was no major enthusiast drama.
Not that I'm aware of, because I don't get involved in that stuff. though some people still have problems with me, but they're just wrong. Yeah, I went to the Schwarzkopf documentary premiere at Fun Spot. A couple of my friends worked on that project, so that was really cool and really, really nice supporting them. In attendance was somebody who absolutely despises me, and he was texting people that I was with saying, "I can't believe you're with that human piece of shit." And truthfully, this man's obsession with me is just sad and weird at this point. Not even worth saying his name because it's not important. It's just funny.
Is it somebody I know?
It's somebody you know about.
Okay.
The guy who tried to dox me last year because he didn't like my shirt.
Oh.
Him, yeah. He's still riding the hating Dainan train. But I'm not gonna air people's dirty laundry. I don't have to. I will say though, he fucked with the wrong person coming after me. A lot of people turned against him. A lot of people who are, theme park YouTube influencers are turned against him because they also took my side because, I mean, you kind of had to. and maybe, I accidentally got this said person kicked out of the Ace podcast group. Like I said, I'm not the one you come for, bitch. Anyway, that was really the only drama.
To be fair, that's not a group anyone should want to be a part of anyway.
That's an opinion. It's
mine, and I'll own it.
Yeah, I don't really feel one way or the other. I know that they associate with him. What happened was pretty, the person's a bad person. I'm not going to say names. It's not important, but just bad person. Pretty stuff. And Ace's response to me submitting the form being, "Hey, this is someone who represents your organization, and this is what he's done and what he's doing, what he's saying." And their response was, "Don't engage with him." And I'm like, that's not good enough.
I'm pretty sure that's their response if one of their members... Oh, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that. I do know that the former president of Ace has since told me...
Is a member of our Discord? Sure is.
He is, sure is, and has also told me not to rejoin Ace. Because Ace is an Ace member.
I'm letting that one speak for itself, too. The fact that he showed up on our Discord and is actively discouraging people from joining the club.
Correct.
Because he's cool.
Love the man to pieces.
Yeah, he's awesome. I only had disagreements with him in terms of like the actual mechanics of the club. But outside of that, he's great.
And truthfully, the disagreements he probably agreed with you on. And then what else happened at IAPA? I had to play Ditch the Thuzies a lot because, I have friends who go there, and then there were other local enthusiasts who I like, nice kids. But I was at one point with my boss and walking around the show floor, and some coaster enthusiasts who I'm friends with, who I like, kept trying to tag along. And then at one point I had to be like, "Hey, I am actually with my actual boss. I need you to leave." And Jared from Ace. So I was talking bad about Ace. Now I'm going to talk good about Ace. The Ace podcast, the Acers who put together the Schwarzkopf documentary did a fantastic job. I was fortunate to go to the premiere at Fun Spot. The night didn't go off exactly as planned, but we all did get to see the film, which is beautiful. And eventually, I believe it'll be on YouTube next year. Our friend Scott filmed. My other friend Nick worked on it. My friend RD worked on it. It was just really well done, and I'm a huge Schwarzkopf fan, so I cried.
Oh shit!
You
guys there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My Zencaster reset, but it looks like I'm still in track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shouts. That movie looks great. I want to see it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Scott's awesome. He does great work.
It was more exciting than the Arrow documentary, I'm going to be honest. And I think a lot of that was just because a lot of Arrow's history has been readily available, where a lot of this history was stuff I, as a super fan, learned. And then at the Ace booth, Jared Holiday, who's a Orlando local, made a working model with an actual, block system. And gonna shamefully plug my son here because I am ElToroRyansDad dad after all. I filmed it. My buddy Brandon filmed it. We filmed a video for ElToroRyan of the working model where I interviewed Jared and we talked about the block zones and how it works. And that was cool. I had a lot of fun playing with the model. So that video is on YouTube. Yeah, IAAPA was nice this year. It was a very chill year, which was good. I saw a lot of people. Like I said, the documentary was a lot of fun.
About the documentary, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do they talk about what he was doing between 1939 and 1950?
They actually did.
How in depth?
In depth for me to be able to confirm with you that he is not a Nazi.
Okay.
Which was very refreshing to learn. Because let me tell you, you got me fucked up with that shit.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of information like you were saying.
Yeah.
Specifically before like 1960-ish. About what my man's is doing, other than his father owned trains to transport circus equipment.
That he did.
So, I mean, it's pretty easy to draw your own conclusion there.
We're safe. He is not a Nazi.
I'm excited to be proven wrong.
Now, ask me if I actually remember what he was doing. I don't, but they do talk about it. And I can confirm that what is said in the documentary is kosher.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't put it past the team there to be incorrect.
Correct. And if he was a part of that party that no one wants to join. Well, actually, unfortunately, a good chunk of Americans think that they're joining it, even though they don't think they are.
Only losers want to join it.
Yeah, well, those fucking losers elected a big fucking loser to be our president next year. I'm just being cynical and using dark humor to get through the next 4 years. So don't mind me.
Don't be a loser.
I was called a leftist loony at IAAPA by someone I used to be friends with.
Don't be a loser. Be a smarty. Come and. Oh, never mind.
Okay, Mel Brooks. We all know the quote.
Yeah. Well.
You guys there?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Ben's having some issues. Let's
close it up.
Yeah.
I'm tired. It's late.
Okay, I got you guys now.
All right. Well,
did you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, weird. All right. Because it keeps saying I'm offline, but then it keeps bringing me back in. I don't know what's going on.
The timer's still going.
Okay, that's good.
The recorder.
Yeah, and while we're all here, we might as well wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
Dainan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure
to hang out with you guys.
Hey. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. And thank you all for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if not, this has been Ride This One. Just kidding. They're dead. They're not dead. The show is gone now. Well, nobody's heard from Jordan in a long time, so if he's still listening. Now, if anybody from Ride This One is listening right now, send us an angry tweet or something.
You know, Nathan was here. He was in Orlando, and I saw it on social media. And I actually haven't said anything to him because we really don't talk. Like, we talk, but, like, not regularly. I thought I saw him at Toothsome when I was at Toothsome at Universal last week, and I was pretty sure he was sitting next to the table next to me. And I looked at him, and I thought he saw me. And when he didn't react, I was like, oh, maybe it's just someone who looks like him. And then on Facebook the next day, I saw that he was at Universal. So I don't know if he didn't see me, and I'm just a bad person for not saying hi. So, Nathan, if you're hearing this, call me.
Yeah, Slater, get your shit together so you can come back on our podcast. And by that, I don't mean metaphorically.
What?
Oh, I was just saying, I don't mean metaphorically. I mean, he needs to get his fucking microphone and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. What were we talking about? I hope they're all doing well.
I think we were closing up the show.
We sure were. I hope everybody over at Ride This One is doing well. Much love to Jordan, Slater, and Goliath. And shit. That's all we got today. Thanks for hanging. And until next time, you're